Hello everybody and welcome back to another book challenge here on my channel. Today I wanted to do the challenge of swapping my screen time with books, and for the most part, I do have a lot of hours on my phone, but I use it for background noise a lot, even TikTok, just when I'm cleaning and doing a bunch of stuff around the house. So I'm still doing productive stuff. It is Monday the 13th and tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so I'm not gonna 100% guarantee that I'm gonna read a bunch or even hit the whole thing. Josh is home. It is his only day off because he is leaving for a trip, so I'm going to be spending time with my husband before he leaves for another Thunderbird trip. So Monday, February the 5th, I was on my phone for 3 hours and 37 minutes, which is a lot. Then the 6th was 3 hours and 34 minutes. The 7th was 2 hours and 40 minutes. The 8th was one of my biggest days at 4 hours and 28 minutes. The 9th was 2 hours and 9 minutes. I have been reading a lot more, but like I said, a lot of my phone screen time, some of it is like YouTube and TikTok, and that's just me scrolling through it while I'm cleaning, folding laundry, things like that. This video, I'm already 100 pages into Tatiana de Rosnay's A Secret Kept. So with that being said, I'm not gonna do a lot of summaries of the books. I'm just gonna do my whole ratings at the end, and then I'm gonna kind of do a couple stats. So how many pages I read, the ratings for each books, how many books I did read, and also the total time. I want to do that too. That sounds good. So I'm going to hold myself to that, but I'm not going to give necessarily summaries. I am going to do updates. They may not be where you can necessarily see me. They may be more point of view, just depending on how I feel. I'm starting this challenge out at 10 a.m. on Monday the 13th. So we should see how this goes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. Day one is complete. It is about 11 o'clock at night, and that's just because I stopped reading after probably about an hour and a half. I think I had about 2 hours left, and then I started reading again. I was around page 100, and now I'm at 234, which is great. That was 3 hours and 37 minutes, and tomorrow, because of the day that it is, we have a lot of stuff going on, and also since Josh is getting ready to leave, we are actually gonna take like a little date day. So we're going somewhere else, and therefore I probably still will be a little bit reading, but I probably won't read much, maybe 20 pages at the most. And so because of that, I'm going to skip Tuesday just because of what it is, and then I'll start back up on Wednesday, but I'll keep in line with my time. So I'm really excited that I at least got one day finished. The next day I come back on here will be Wednesday, and we will start with 3 hours and 34 minutes. Day 2 of this challenge, and today we are reading for 3 hours and 34 minutes, and since I'm on page 234, I only have about 69 pages left of this book, so I definitely will finish it today. Hopefully it'll probably be in an hour, maybe 2 max, just because of all the French words. That's the only complaint I have about any of her books, and I feel like Sarah's Key was not bad at all because it was more English than not, but there's a lot of French words in here, and I took German. I did not take Spanish, French, or anything. My school only had Spanish and German, and I took German. It's taken me a couple minutes to pronounce those words, so it's adding more time to it, and there's been a lot of locations and a lot of different street names here lately, so I'm gonna say this probably will take me closer to 2 hours, honestly, even though it's only 69 pages left. Alright, I am back with an hour 39 minutes, so basically an hour and 40 minutes left of this challenge. I did finish A Secret Kept, so I'm glad to be done with this book. I did like the ending of this book. I feel like it was pretty good. I'm not going to give any spoilers or too much detail about this book. I do really like Tatiana de Rosnay's books, and I knew something about the red coat was a certain key factor into this book. I thought that a teenage girl would basically just run away, and because she had this big secret, she restarted her whole life. When I seen the cover, I thought that that was what was going to be the whole book and the whole plot. Nothing about that at all, but it was a pretty good secret. I feel like it did take forever to get to the end of the secret, and it's not 100% explained, and that's just because some secrets aren't always explained. But I did enjoy this book. It took me a little longer to read for 303 pages, but it also wasn't bad. The next book I'm going to read is only 204 pages long. It is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I've been seeing this pop up here recently. A couple YouTubers have been actually reading this book. They have really pretty and updated covers from, I think, what Barnes & Noble sells now. But since I do have the older style, I will be reading this. I have a lot of Agatha Christie books, honestly. I have 3 little books similar to this, and then I also have a hardcover that's 5 whole complete novels. So I'm going to be actually reading a bunch of Agatha Christie here because I've had these for 15 years probably, and I've never read them. I chose to read Nancy Drew's instead. So I am going to pick up this book, try and read this. I want to say I could possibly at least get to 70 pages. I'm not 100% sure. Since we only have an hour and 40 minutes left, I'm not going to try and rush into it and rush to finish it. It does have small-ish writing. It's not too small and it's not too big, but since this is a small book, it might go by a little fast. I did not remember this morning to actually record. I did not want to. Last night I read until about 60 pages with Agatha Christie And Then There Were None. And then my husband called, and up until he fell asleep, which was probably around 11 o'clock Nevada time, I ended up going back to reading, and I made myself only read 20 pages because it started getting really good, really into the mystery, and I didn't want to necessarily put it down, but since it was so late, I wanted to definitely get some sleep. But I finished this book. It did take me all of the 2 hours and 40 minutes that we should have done today. That's a lot, honestly. I feel like because I was just trying to adjust to the font sometimes with different font styles, my eyes have really hard trouble like actually reading. Today was one of those days for sure, so it took me a really long time to read about probably 120, 130 pages. I love how I was on edge with this book. I think my next one is going to be more chill. Tomorrow we have like 4 hours to read. It's one of my longest days. I'm gonna read The Unhoneymooners. I'm excited to pick this up and read it, but I'm also don't know if I want to read a romance. One, because I've never read true romance type books, but secondly because my husband's on a trip. He won't be back till next Tuesday. It's only Thursday. I've read my full time. I'm going to not read maybe tonight, but as of right now I'm gonna go run some errands, go do some stuff. I don't know, maybe we'll finish this book and maybe we'll start up another one, but 2 more days. Day 3 finished and complete. I'm sorry I didn't record a lot. I was just really into the book and ready to finish it. Second to last day, and today we have to read for 4 hours, 34 minutes, but I already read an hour, so 3 hours and 34 minutes more. And I am only on page now 49 of The Unhoneymooners, so I read a little bit to try and wake up. I'm still in the process of waking up. This book has larger words and also it's more spaced out, not just line spaced, but also character spaced. I feel like I'm hopefully going to get a pretty decent way into this book. I also like how in this book, just kind of like the To All the Boys I Loved Before, there's text, and this one, it's like 2 whole pages of text. I think that's really cool how books are starting to have text and other items, images and stuff inside of them. I remember a couple books that I read, like Christine by Stephen King. I love when Arnie's signature, it was just so beautiful. I like this book for the most part. It's a pretty decent read right now, but I will say the main character, I have a big issue with females a lot of the time, and she is very annoying to me. I feel like she's just being over dramatic because I feel like the whole reason she doesn't like this guy is just overthinking it, and or I feel like it's that whole elementary school, middle school type love where a girl will run up to a guy that she likes and will punch him and act like she hates him, and the guy will end up hating her, and in reality it's because she likes him and he might secretly like her, but they never can be like civil to each other. I feel like that's this whole thing between her and technically her brother-in-law. Also, when I first talked about this book, I did a little haul. I talked about how I don't think any newlywed couple would ever give up their honeymoon, even if everybody but 2 people at the wedding got food poisoning, and that's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. What I didn't know is the 2 people who are going on the honeymoon, I knew that they hated each other apparently, but what I didn't know was that they were siblings to the people getting married. Booker. I still find it kind of weird that they gave up their honeymoon. I don't care if it was unrefundable and if it was just like, oh well, you 2 are the only unsick people. I just don't believe that it would truly happen in real life, but I do like that. Like, I like the whole plot of the whole book. Well, at least that being part of the plot. I think that's really cool because it is unique. I haven't heard of it yet, and also I don't find it realistic in real life, so I'm actually sorta enjoying the whole book so far. Let's see how much I can read today in the 3.5 hours I have left. gonna do a quick little update. My son is right here, so hopefully he doesn't mess with the light again. But I have finished my time today, and it is kind of late at night. It's very dark, if you can't tell. I'm actually in my stairwell because there's only lights up in the loft for some reason in the stairwell. I am on page 200 of this book, and I'm hoping to potentially get to 250, maybe 300 by tonight. And if that's the case, since there's only 400 pages left, tomorrow pick up the Hotel Nantucket because I've had this for a couple weeks. I think I bought these two together, and I've been wanting to read this one as well, so I might pick this up. I'm only reading for 2, maybe 3 hours tomorrow, so I want to say I can definitely finish this book and hopefully start on another one, but I'm not positive. I know in the morning we have to run and go do some other stuff. So 200 pages today is done. We have one final day. I'm very excited to finish this book. I feel like it's gotten a lot better. I feel a little bit better. I still stick by what I said about the female, just certain things about what she said, but it's getting better. She is getting better. I just don't understand why her first thought is always like the worst case possible when it comes to him. Anyways, that is my small little update, and let's go ahead and go to the last day of this challenge. Today is the final day of this challenge, and I'm so excited that it's only 2 hours and 9 minutes. I think I last updated when I hit page 200 in The Unhoneymooners, and I have to say I kind of read a lot while waiting for my son to fall asleep, and also after he went to bed. As of right now, I'm on page 348, so I only have pretty much 50 pages left to finish this book, so it's not going to take me too long. It'll probably take me about an hour, so I'll have an hour and 10 minutes left. I'm glad I have a smaller day, like I don't have to read as much. So I'll finish this book, start the Hotel Nantucket. So let's go ahead, hop into this, and I'll see you back here in 2 hours. I finished my reading times for today, so I want to wrap this whole video up with my stats and anything else I wanted to include and talk about the last couple books. We started this whole challenge off with Tatiana de Rosnay's A Secret Kept, and I think I was about 100 pages in, and there's 303 pages total. We then went to Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, which is 204 pages total. The Honeymooners had 395 pages. Lastly, I started Hotel Nantucket with only 44 pages in. Over the course of these 5 days, I have read a total of 846 pages. I finished 3 whole books and started another book, but I'm gonna still include it into this video because I did start it. We read a total of 16 hours and 28 minutes, which actually is a lot. I was thinking I was gonna read more closer to 30 hours, not gonna lie, but 16 hours and 28 minutes is still a lot, and I feel like even just lately I've gotten a lot less screen time. My screen time's been an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, which is amazing. I mean, it's pretty much what it was before, but it's a little bit half on some days. Since I just started this book, I'm not gonna review it. I'm not gonna honestly talk about it at all. I just wanted to put it in here that I did start it. My son happened to bring out a rotary phone, so ignore any potential noises you might hear. He's around me right now playing. First off, let's talk about A Secret Kept. I rated this book 4 stars, and I like this book a lot. I like the whole plot of the book. I like the whole story. There was a couple things that I was so unsure about, or I was kind of struggling, I guess, to read. Like, it would take me just a smidge longer to read. But overall, I did enjoy this book, and I felt like it was a pretty easy, pretty fast read. Because she lives in France, and because I never took French, I kind of struggled a lot with the words and the locations, so because of that, I know it definitely took me a lot more time than it should have probably. Since I didn't guess what it was originally about and it was something that piqued my interest, I am glad I picked it up and I rated it 4 stars because of that. Agatha Christie's And Then There Are None is the first book this year that is a complete 5-star read for me. It was very fast paced, especially once it started picking up. In the beginning, I wasn't too sure about the multiple different POVs because I think there were 6 or 8, but then thankfully it got a lot better. It became pretty much third person and it was like really fast paced, good. Wanted to just get into it and just read it. I do like this book, 5-star read. If you have not read it, go pick it up. Also, if you can find the really nice covers, I mean, I do like having the older version because it's more unique, but the really nice new covers are very pretty. The Unhoneymooners was the last full book I read. I had a little bit of trouble picking what I wanted for this book. In the beginning, I had a very strong dislike a little bit with the main character. I didn't like how her attitude was and just a lot of things that she was saying, the inner dialogue especially. For this being one of my first like romances, I felt like it was actually pretty nice. I did enjoy the ending and the epilogue with it being in Ethan's point of view. It was pretty cool. I think my only peeve was just the main character, and then of course like the whole situation about the one time that somebody doesn't believe Olive. But with that, it's just, you know, I felt like it was kind of like the boy cried wolf type situation because she did kind of always think of everything in the negative form, and then all of a sudden when she was trying to tell the truth, nobody really believed her, or they just didn't want to believe her. And I think that was more of like the boy cried wolf situation. I don't necessarily say that they shouldn't have believed her. I just feel like she maybe, I mean, everything they were kind of saying about her was maybe a little bit right, and that's just realistic. Besides also the ending and everything I already talked about, the spot at page 360 or 355-ish to 360 where all these girls are coming over, I'm just gonna say that I guessed it right before it happened. Right before her sister invited Olive over, I was guessing what was going to happen, and then it did blindside me. Even though I was guessing it, I just wasn't sure that the book was gonna do that, and so I did enjoy that. I gave it 4 stars because the ending really helped make up the whole only issues I had about this book. I can definitely say it was a super easy, fast-paced read. I love the text in the book, like the actual text messages. Those are my 4 books for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. Be sure to stay tuned for any book-related videos I have upcoming, or any photography or any other videos I have on my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week, and God bless.
Don't leave me here high and dry.